Hey guys, let's retry that. Hey guys, Botine25 here, launching NROL-37 atop a Delta IV Heavy. Right, let's launch. Of course, as to what this is, it's pure speculation on my part. Whether it may be an Advanced Orion or Mentor spacecraft, so that's what I base it on, which is, for those of you who are unaware of what that is, it's a spacecraft with an 100-meter dish. It's a spy satellite, from what I can tell, because that's, it's military / government. We know that much. And it's launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, as you can see. Of course, I'm not exactly sure how the broadcast will work. There are times where they show quite a bit of the launch, like they might not show for example, they might show they show up until stage separation. Yeah, I just did this massive antenna. Why do those clip? Probably just some aerodynamic forces or some stuffs. Right, we're going to maintain this heading for now. This way we would crash into the water if something were to go kablooey. No, we've not used a single unit of fuel on that central core, which is not how the real one works. The central engine has a slightly lower thrust limiter. It's going at lower thrust, less fuel use, and then separation, boom, full power, off you go. However, the Falcon Heavy will be able to transfer fuel between the boosters. It will be able to transfer fuel between, the two things. Or the three cores. Now, this thing has more than enough Delta V, because this thing will need to go up to geosynchronous orbit. This thing will need to go up to geosynchronous orbit and circularize. It needs to circularize as well because the payload has no propulsion. The real one is little more than an antenna. So I just scaled up Communitron 88. I went in the config file and made a separate, the Advanced Orion dish. How are we doing? Yep, time to apoapsis is increasing, albeit quite slowly. This should be interesting as to how these will separate. So we are high enough, so ditch. Yep, there you go, that's my interpretation of Advanced Orion. I've got the two solar arrays there, which will provide power, and there's the massive antenna on the front. The other one's kind of... It takes up the whole fairing. So it's wrapped around, it's kind of coiled around the central cable thing. And after this we're going to just decouple it, but we won't ignite the engine, because of course this thing has to extend the engine bell. That's kind of a... so that it fits inside the engine bell. But of course that's more efficient. Scott Manley made a video on engine nozzles, so check it out. The Lord has spoken. Yeah. Some people have created an actual religion centered around Scott Manley. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Okay, I'm I'm going insane. I am slowly going crazy. How much delta V does the stage have? That can get us most of the way to orbit. Which is why I'm doing this. Not show custom window editor thing. Yep, time to apoapsis is still increasing, so we can do this. Now, of course, we've got no idea as to what the flight profile will be. We do not know what it's going to do. Because, of course, top secret. Who the fuck knows what these people are doing? No one, that's the answer. But at this rate, the booster will burn up off the west coast of Africa, I think. Probably not. Probably won't get that far. Of course, this thing has 2 verniers. There. Let's have delta V up there. 1,000 meters per second. Oh yeah, I need orbit info. I'm going to pitch up in and greatly increase our time to apoapsis, not time to periapsis. There we go. Now, poof. Extend. Engine bell extended. Alright, smart ASS surface. There we go. So this thing is going to carry this satellite up to geosynchronous orbit. Four times time acceleration. Yep, this thing will easily make orbit. And what altitude is geosynchronous orbit at again? It's like 36,000. Crap, I keep forgetting these figures. I keep forgetting these numbers. I think it's like 35786 or something. Let's go for that, and then I'll make adjustments accordingly. We almost have a positive periapse. So yeah, we would burn up on the... Well, we would burn up over one of the lakes of Africa. Africa still hasn't come into view yet, by the way. Yeah, time to apoapsis is increasing, so... No, because that's converting more of the energy into circularizing the orbit. It is fighting Mark Chubband. Not the most efficient thing to do, but we've got fuel to spare. Just keep burning. I love how this is changing constantly. No you don't, mate. No you don't. Just get a positive periapsis. Just go a bit past 200. Right. Right, change apoapsis. I almost put in 2868.75 because that's what that. not 235.786. If I create node, where is that node? It's at night. Don't want to risk it. At the next apoapsis. Hold on. Does that look about right? Yeah. Delta V. How much? Okay, I think that should be enough. So lock V. We wish to use the delta's supply of electricity. A 9-minute burn. Wow. Just wow. I think this would probably be the actual launch profile for the Delta IV Heavy carrying something to that altitude. Now, burn, baby, burn. Time acceleration. But yes, you know, this is a top secret mission, so for a few years all we can do is speculate as to what this is. There will, you know, once it reaches orbit it will be designated USA something something something, and then what was I going to say? I have no clue what I was going to say. Brilliant. Actually, I'm actually wondering what will be up there at that time. At the time when we circularize, you know. So it would get pretty boring if it's just, you know, Australia again, because that's not what America wants to spy on. They would probably want to spy on Russia. No, so I'm not going to bother to fix the inclination, because that's because it probably won't have a zero inclination, and I probably won't have fuel to do it. Because I think it will kind of move over America and South America. But of course I can only speculate on that now. Only speculate about that. The burn is almost done. There's only a minute of burning left. Yeah, fingers crossed we will be over America when we circularize. Oh, so that's also that's at the equator, roughly. There we go. Close enough, mate. Close enough. Close enough, I said. Circularize at the next apoapsis. 1400 meters per second. How much delta V do we have? More than enough. And then we'll deploy this massive thing. And we'll be over Australia. And what's on the other side of the Earth? No, a board node execution. We're going around one more time. Auto warp, yep. Yeah, that's kind of where we want to be. In my opinion, anyway, because of course that's over Africa, and they can probably get a bit of coverage into... They could probably get a bit of spying action going on in Europe, if you know what I'm saying. They know when you're watching porn. Alright, let's get ready to do this. Engine is about... Yep, we're getting ready to burn. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Could have probably made that a bit bigger, but there's kind of... No, there was... Oh, what? Oh, what? What? Alt F12, infinite electricity. Oh, what? Save with infinite electricity because it's now got propellant and it's of course also charging its own batteries. And also, well, actually, no, we're not going to pacifize the stage just yet. Actually, screw it. Yeah, we. Yeah, I'm not sure. Should I drop this or should I not drop this? Or I'm confused. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to move away from this vehicle because, of course, once we deploy that antenna, that's going to take up a lot of space. Of course, it's got coverage on South America as well as North America, which is probably where the U.S. government will wish to be spying. But of course, that's just a guess. I have no clue what the government's spying on. Now, orbit info. I want to know what the vehicle's orbital period is. Right. Drop out of warp. Smart ASS prograde. No, orbit prograde. And let's see what happens if I just give this thing a thrust limiter of 0.5 because not 0. 1. Hold on. So little thrust. We don't even have an exhaust. This would probably be less of burning the fuel and more of venting the fuel. I think. There we go. I think it's speeding up. I can do this. Oh god. Fuck. Smart ASS. Save RSS retrograde. Yeah, now we're being very, very careful. Actually, you know what? That's close enough. Point anti-radio, RSS on. I mean, you know, that little... Just those little things, they won't make it. They won't make a big difference. Especially, but we'll be thrown out of whack once we decouple, so. So I think 30 seconds the government will be fine with that. And poof. I said poof. How much hours? Going to... Yes, we're going to... We're going to move out of the way. Now, point retrograde. This isn't what they would do normally. They'd increase the ups, not decrease it. I do believe that greatly reduces any chance of contact. Control from here, yep. I do believe the first thing you would do is deploy the dish that will communicate with Earth, even though, it's kind of, it has a different layout, just stick with me here. And then you would deploy the solar arrays to get yourself some power. Whereas this is very little. The spacecraft has very little in terms of systems. Let's deploy the antenna. I presume that will say blocked by. No, it's got getting so. Now let's just speed up time a bit. So you can see this way, as we move along our orbit, well, there are times we get more coverage than at other times. But damn, that's a big antenna. Yeah, you can see this is coverage over most of North America and Europe. So even I'm not safe in Europe. Like, I can see my house from here. Anyways, guys, that was the launch of NROL-37 in KSP RSS. I'm Botwing25. Goodbye.